Unfortunately, these actions were only the beginning of the Ottoman-led atrocities against the Armenians. During the following years, at least 1.5 million Armenians were arrested and compelled to march hundreds of miles to what is today the Syrian desert. And along the way, prisoners of all ages endured hunger, thirst, rape, sexual abuse, and other forms of torture. And while it is difficult for us to commemorate these terrible acts each year, we must continue to remember those horrors that can occur when governments persecute citizens based on ethnicity or religious affiliation. You know, we often hear those words of George Santayana, his famous quote, that those who cannot remember the past are condemned to repeat it. And these words are ringing true today as well. Already there are those who deny that the Armenian Genocide occurred, despite the vast evidence to the contrary. Meanwhile, our generation has seen its own mass murders occurred in Rwanda and Sudan. So I urge my colleagues in the majority to bring House Resolution 106, which commemorates these atrocities that occurred only a few generations ago, to the House floor for a vote. Now is the time for America to officially ensure that U.S. foreign policy reflects sensitivity concerning human rights issues. Now, just yesterday, I had the privilege of meeting Alice Kachadorian-Shnorhokian. Alice is a resident of Mahwah, New Jersey, which is an area in my district, town in my district. Alice was born in Turkey in 1912 to a successful, respected Armenian family of 8. And when Turkish officials ordered Armenians to denounce their faith and nationality, she and her parents refused. As a result, her family was rounded up and ordered to march into the desert. Alice and her brothers were too young, of course, at that age to walk, so her parents had to put them in boxes on either side of a donkey and marched into the desert. When they arrived in Antioch, her mother befriended their Turkish neighbors, and these neighbors ultimately enabled them to get a permit, which allowed Alice and her family to escape. Alice moved to the United States in 1980, and she became a citizen of the U.S. just 5 years later. And as a survivor, she says she wants to, quote, see justice so that the words never again become a reality. So while I am a member of Congress, I will always remember Alice's words and her wish. We must fully recognize the friendship with our allies in Turkey today, but we cannot change, nor should we forget the past. I hope that there can be some reconciliation between Turkey and Armenia, and that a proper acknowledgement of the crimes of the past can now allow them to move forward into a future of peace and also of mutual understanding. And with that, I yield back.